Hello, and first off, if you don't know me, which you probably don't, my name's Will, and today we'll be talking about a Slipknot really that good. So first off, a little disclaimer, I am a massive fan of alternative music, and trust me, Slipknot is no exception to that. But I'm going to go into this as non-biased as I can do. Just bear in mind, I am still a massive fan of these guys. So let's talk about Slipknot. Okay, so Slipknot really popped off on the scene in 1999 when they released their debut album, which was just self-titled Slipknot. And this did really well for the band. They were very well known for all wearing their red jumpsuits and their horrifying masks. And this is something that even to this day, even though their legacy is set in stone at this point, this is something that they've always been critiqued of. They haven't really got much talent and are very gimmicky. I completely disagree with this, and I don't see how many people could come to this conclusion even back then. But I think they proved a lot of people wrong that they didn't have any extreme talent when they put out Iowa, which even if you like artists that are way heavier than Slipknot, I don't think anyone can deny that this is one of the most enraged and powerful metal albums ever to come out, especially from the nu metal genre. Talking of the nu metal genre, the artists that Slipknot are put up against a lot are artists such as Korn, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, people who are considered as goats. And again, those artists, their legacy is set in stone as well, but there's something about Slipknot, I don't know whether it's because they're more accessible. For example, me, I'm very much a casual metal fan. Slipknot is my favourite metal band, yes, basic opinion, I know. But they are more accessible with their melodic choruses and variation within the music.
I'll never kill myself to save my soul.
It's not just straight screaming and straight heavy riffs all the way throughout. But as loved as Slipknot are, where you have love, you also have hate, and Slipknot have definitely had their fair share of this. The main criticisms that I see Slipknot get is because they did be revolutionary in the nu metal genre, and I think we can all agree that classic metalheads are the most forgiving and are quite picky with what they listen to. This doesn't please quite a lot of the classic metal listeners, which is completely fair enough, but I think music is there to be revolutionised. Another criticism that I see Slipknot get is that the frontman Corey Taylor puts way too many soft aspects to the music, so as I mentioned before, there's quite a lot of melodic choruses, and this for a lot of metal fans is a real big turn off. And I completely see why the genre is there to be heavy, but I think it just elevates it and it just adds a little bit of versatility to something that can be accused of being a bit samey and a bit repetitive. Although I do think this is the most valid criticism that they've got in terms of sometimes the songs are a little bit too soft. So on their latest album, The End So Far, which was definitely the softest one they've ever put out, the opening song Adderall, which they later released several versions of as an EP, it's just not recognisable Slipknot at all. It's verging on boring. Also, ever since Slipknot have been around, they've had numerous feuds, notable ones being with Limp Bizkit back in 1999.
So what you're basically saying is that your fans are fat, ugly kids too? Is that what you're trying to say to me, Mana? Huh? Is that what you want to say? You want to talk shit on the people that you care about, man? We will come here and we will kill you!
And most famously probably with Machine Gun Kelly very recently, where Corey Taylor said this.
I hate all new rock for the most part. I think the artists who failed in one genre and decided to go rock, and I think he knows who he is.
Then MGK said this.
Hey, you want to know what I'm really happy that I'm not doing? Being 50 years old, wearing a fucking weird mask on a fucking stage.
And then this happened.
Man, that shit ain't going away for a long fucking time.
Despite how petty and childish this might be, this does exactly what rock stars do. They get their name out there and they be disruptive. This is really nothing new. And I'm sure there's loads of other personal reasons that people have for not finding Slipknot up to their taste. But I think the biggest criticism, and I've mentioned this before in this video, is the masks. People do just think Slipknot's a gimmick. But I don't think you can deny Corey Taylor is extremely talented at screaming, despite putting in melodic verses and choruses and fully melodic soft songs. he is a very talented screamer, and the band themselves, the way they play is just amazing. Like, they are top of my list to go and see. Okay, I've spoke about the things that people don't like about Slipknot and a little bit of the things that I'm not overly fussed about Slipknot, but I want to get into what they do incredibly. First off, the quality of the music itself. It doesn't matter if the songs aren't up to my taste or their best songs, the quality is always top notch. And fuck the haters if they disagree, because I'm not saying that numbers mean everything, but look at this, every one of their albums from 1999 have charted. And also, it just goes to show that music is always top notch, because my favourite of their albums is the original back in 1999 when the sound wouldn't be that amazing. But just look at these stats. Slipknot at number 37, Iowa at number 1, obviously, Volume 3 at number 5, All Hope Is Gone at number 2, The Grey Chapter at number 2, We Are Not Your Kind at number 1, and The End So Far at number 1 as well. Even though I think it is their biggest attraction for criticism, it's also the thing that makes them Slipknot. The masks make them so recognisable. As much as people will accuse it of being a gimmick, I think it makes him even more awesome. It gives a horror aspect to it, it gives a very good aesthetic to it, and I just think it's a great look. They also are and have had some of the best musicians in the world, especially their late drummer Joey Jordison. This man proved several times that he was one of the best drummers of all time, and even people who hate Slipknot won't deny that Joey was just one of the best ever, and massive rest in peace to him. I literally could go on forever for the things that I love about Slipknot, but my final massive thing for it is Slipknot's just got a feel to it. It's something that just drives me to want to go to one of their shows. It's proper like towards the top of my bucket list to go and see them. Just look at these clips. So overall, are Slipknot a bit overrated? Yes, probably, but everyone is overrated to someone out there, and unfortunately to all the haters watching this, it's my video, it's my opinion. Slipknot are really that good. Do I love every album they've put out? No. Do I love every song they've put out? No. Do I love Slipknot overall? Abso-fucking-lutely. Am I one of the most die-hard Slipknot fans? No, of course not. My friend Luke is, and I've got a thank you to say to him for getting me into them in the first place. They're an incredible band. Make sure you go and check them out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of this video, and I'll see you very soon. I enjoyed doing this one.